So for question one, whether we should continue to examine or create studies that examine caloric intake and health outcomes, I think we should take a different approach when you creating these studies. It should be looking at the comparison between two different types of food, whether what option is better, like processed or non-processed, or foods that are organic or not. Just a different position versus solely focusing on the inability that like how much people intake, but instead what they're eating, because the quality of the food is very important, especially on one's health in the long term. I don't know exactly how we would create this study, but something that evaluates what we're eating versus how much we're eating. And then I think what they meant by replacement eating is they meant that when you're taking away a food or telling someone to substitute something, you want to make sure that you're making up for that food that you're taking away. So, for example, you say you need to reduce the amount of, I guess, like carbs you have in your diet, or the amount of saturated fats or processed foods, things like chips or chips are cookies, right? So we want to give some, we want to replace that with something that someone can still snack on still, and be able to have carbohydrates. So we want to replace it with like a different option. So I guess that's what they meant by replacement eating, is to make sure that we're never taking away how much someone is eating, but always replacing it, and adding foods that are more beneficial to someone's health. And then the takeaway message that I got from this article was that it's hard to create these studies, and it's gonna take some time to try to with food, things are always changing, especially everyone always wants to know whether the new trend is going to be healthy for them in the long run, right? So and it's kind of also hard financially to be able to watch someone 24/7 in a little box and see how much they're eating, and whether that's going to benefit them in the long run. So it's kind of hard to create these studies, but I guess the best thing that we can do is to look at the quality of the food that we're eating versus how much we're eating.